What up, everyone? Welcome back to Blade Bias. It is my final few days with the Hazetac Jigsaw, and I wanted to make one final video about it because I think I've finally settled my thoughts on it. If you've watched the past few videos on the Hazetac Jigsaw, I have not known what to make of this thing whatsoever. But I think I finally have a final verdict on it, and I think I finally understand why it was so weird to me. But to tell you more, let's not only grab my nemesis, but let's head over to the beanbag of truth. Ignore my left. I need to clean my room really badly. But you know what's more important than cleaning your room? Blade Bias. Also, the beanbag of truth? What the... No, the beanbag of safety. Let's head over to the beanbag of safety. So the Jigsaw is a really interesting balisong. For all the reasons I've talked about in my previous videos, it has an almost perfect weight distribution. There's no hot spots of weight in anywhere in the blade, in the handles, and the handles and the blade feel relatively even with each other in terms of weight. It's perfectly balanced as all things should be. But at the same time, it's not perfectly balanced like all things should be. It's perfectly distributed. Because at the end of the day, distribution is not the same as balance. And unfortunately with the Jigsaw, that's where this thing really falters. Because this thing does not carry momentum very well. And when you have a flipper like me, who's very momentum-based tricks, I do a lot of rollovers and things like that, that doesn't exactly vibe with my flipping style. Let's take my Nemesis, for example. The reason I grabbed the Nemesis. The Nemesis has a very obvious hotspot of weight in the end of its handles. That's how it's able, well, also the tip, but that's how it's able to fan so well, but then also chaplain so well and roll over so well. But it also carries momentum so well because of all of that weight. And that's why I love it so much. That's why it's my favorite trainer right now. And has been my favorite trainer for a while. Because of my momentum-based flipping style, it just allows me to flow. Carries momentum well enough, does all the tricks that I need it to do as well as I need it to do. And I can flip better and faster on the Nemesis than anything else. But in order to truly understand, we also have to take a look at another boy, the Tay Flipper. Because I talked in my last video about how the Tay Flipper is also really evenly distributed. But the balance here is so much better because it carries momentum. I can do all of the tricks that I normally do because it carries momentum. But at the same time, it still has that even weight distribution. And that's because while there is a focal point of weight at the ends of the handles and the tip of the blade, just like with the Nemesis, it's so minimal that it doesn't affect the overall feeling of the distribution at all. And it creates this really, really well-balanced effect that also flips amazingly. And I think that's where the Jigsaw falters for me. Because as much as I've talked about loving it, as much as I've talked about not liking it, so the screws come loose very easily on this thing. I think I've finally settled on what I think about it. And it's that I don't really like it that much. It is not my favorite balisong at all. What it is, it sounds amazing. Despite being on tang pins, this has one of the best sounds in any balisong ever. But it just kind of falters for me because it doesn't carry that momentum. While the weight distribution is really good, and that threw me off for such a long time because I've never felt something with such, or a metal balisong with such an even weight distribution. Besides maybe, I guess maybe the Kraken. The Kraken's pretty evenly distributed. Let me flip a Kraken really quick. No, it's kind of like the Edit in the sense that it has the more weight in the handles. So yeah, not only is it so distributed, but it's also like fairly neutral because there's no obvious weight increase in the handles compared to the blade. And that's cool. It makes you, like, that's why this ballad song was so weird for me, because it makes you question everything else in your collection. It makes you go, wait, do I like this more than other things? This had me thinking that my Nemesis wasn't good, that my Kraken wasn't. Actually, no, I've never faltered on my Kraken. That's why I love it so much. But it had me thinking that, like, my Nemesis wasn't good, the Prisma wasn't good, stuff like that. And I shouldn't say not good, but it had me thinking that I didn't like them too much anymore because this was so good. And then I flipped it more and I just realized that it's just the excitement of feeling something so weird. Every time I think about this ballad song and talk about it, it feels like I am on, like, some sort of, like, I'm not sober, if that makes any sense, because it makes you question everything you know, and it just, oh my god, even now I can't even describe it. Even now that I think I've figured it out, I can't even describe it. This ballad song will make you question everything you know about ballad songs, and it will make you question your entire collection. But then once you start flipping it again and you start getting used to your other ballad songs again, you realize, no, I like these for a reason. It will make you question everything, but it will not make you change your outlook on everything. And I think that's what I took away from this. The first impressions were so crazy, and I had whiplash going between loving it and not liking it that much. But I finally settled on saying, I personally don't like it very much. And it all comes down to that momentum. If it can't carry momentum very well, then what's the point of it being light? It's super light, but it's not easy to flip. My hands get more fatigued flipping the Jigsaw than they do any of my other ballad songs because you have to put more work into keeping the momentum going. And that's what I don't like about it. I think it's a great ballad song. I totally see why so many people out there like it. But for me, this is not something that I would personally keep in my collection. And if I did keep it in my collection, it's not something I would flip very often at all. Because at the end of the day, while the Nemesis may not have that perfect weight distribution, it does have that perfect balance, at least to me. Fanning well, doing rollovers well, carrying momentum well. That's what's important to me. And the Jigsaw delivers well on a few of those. But the momentum part, not really. Specifically, like I said, getting fatigued flipping this thing is weird because it's so light. So I think that concludes my time with the Jigsaw. I highly recommend that you try one out to experience the sort of on drugs effect that it has on you, because it's whiplash. 1 second you love it, the other second you're like, I don't really know. The other second you're questioning everything in your collection. You have 3 different points that you're making in one singular video, which I was guilty of the last time I talked about this. Like, it just takes you on a ride. And I think that's a ride that some more people should experience. And I think more people are going to experience. So I just want to give one more big thank you to Ted Flips for including me in the Jigsaw pass around. Ted, Purple Prisma, way better purple. Jigsaw, pretty good. Not to my tastes, though. So I believe the next person that will be getting this, hopefully you all aren't sick of seeing the Jigsaw that much, because the next person that will be getting this, I believe, is Ty. So you'll be seeing more videos on this channel from Ty. Yes, there are 2 people on this channel. A lot of you are realizing that way too late, but whatever. I am very interested to see what he thinks of this thing and to see if it's the same crazy, wild experience for him. But that's going to do it for the Hazetac Jigsaw. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.